Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman. He's in his tactical suit, played by Ben Affleck. This is the Platinum Chase variant. This one has the goggles up. I've been looking for this guy for a long time, and you never believe how I got this guy. So, Big Bad Toy Store separated their Platinum Gorilla Grodd and put them up separately, and at first, I was like, what assholes are trying to make extra money off here, not just shipping out randomly like it's intended. And then you know what? As they came closer and closer to getting the Justice League figures, I thought they're probably going to do the same thing with Batman. So I was checking them daily, and a few nights ago, bam, it was in stock for $49, which is a steal. This guy's selling for $120 or so on eBay right now. As soon as I saw him, threw two in the cart, checked out, got him a couple days later. I'll say the next morning I checked and they were totally gone and sold out. Very happy my patience paid off. So let's take a look at the packaging here. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and this is the McFarlane Platinum Edition. He comes with one Batarang, a collector's card, and a display stand. One side of the package, Batman from Justice League. Other side simply says Batman. The bottom, bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, although they put their own barcode on top cover of the regular one. Backside, here's Batman post-op, and here are a bunch of other McFarlane DC Multiverse Justice League figures you should check out. So with no further ado, let's get them open. And I did end up getting two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch unopened Batman action figure collection. Here he is, next to the standard release of Batman. This one has the goggles down. Then, next to the Entertainment Earth exclusive unmasked Batman. And finally, I have them all. Here would be all three variations of the Zack Snyder's Justice League tactical suit Batman. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with a display stand, a collector's card, and a Batarang. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's in his tactical suit, and this one has his goggles up. I must confess, I prefer the version with the goggles down. I'm happy that wasn't the Chase variant. When Batman's in action or in the field, he'll typically have his goggles down. He should only have the goggles up when he's in the Batcave or hanging out with the other heroes. So this is the Batman that's played by Ben Affleck from the Justice League film. The face is not bad. I mean, you can only really see his chin, but they got that signature dimple there. Like I said before, the goggles down is my preferred version of this suit. And the suit itself, the body, everything else is the same except for the head, and it is a great Batman release. You can see the armor, all the different armor pieces here. It's got some scratches, like it's been through some stuff. Different armor plating all over him. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. A couple of things I don't particularly like. The fins are made of this really soft rubbery material. They could definitely use to firm up and be a little tougher. Also his diaper here, it's made of very soft material, which is great for articulation, but it feels just kind of cheap or basic. You can see, just kind of goes up a little bit. Like I said, for articulation purposes, it's great, but no pun intended, the actual material just moves out of the way and is so flimsy, a little too soft. Same with his gauntlets here. Overall, it's a great figure. One of the best features is the cape. Look at the texturing, and it moves so well. Made of a rubbery type material. It's almost a cross between soft goods and plastic. I very much like the way they executed this. I think it's fantastic. So it's a great figure. It looks really good from the film. I really hope we get a regular suit Ben Affleck Batman before it's all said and done. And then, just a closer look at his face. This is a brand new head sculpt, different than the standard version. Typically they're platinum figures, they're just paint variations. This one at least has some new sculpting detail. Tell me what you guys think. Does the face look good like Ben Affleck, or does it look off? I mean, I know you can't see all of it, but I think it looks very good. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says DC at the bottom, one peg for the peg holes on his feet, very thin. Very basic. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, we've got Ben Affleck posed up from the Justice League, Batman from Justice League. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Here's the platinum version of Batman's collector's card on the left. Next to the standard version of Batman's collector's card on the right. They are 100% identical. It seems like McFarlane is getting a little bit lazy with these collector's cards. Typically in the past, they would give it a silver border or something like that, something to differentiate itself from the original release. And here's the platinum collector's card on the left, the standard collector's card in the center, and the unmasked collector's card on the right. The unmasked is a little bit different, has sort of black and white color scheme to it. Then we've got his Batarang. Typical Batarang for the DC Cinematic Universe. Has that Batman vs. Superman Batman symbol to it, the lines through it. I like it a lot. And I'm starting to develop quite a collection of these Batarangs between the standard version, the platinum version, and the couple unmasked versions that I got. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to throw his Batarang. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to a hair above 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. Can look up about that far, down about that far. I do notice on his head, it has this glossy paint, and then it gets very dull lower. Doesn't really match very nicely. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He does have a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Increase the range of motion there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. His wrist has a ball in it. Can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint in his torso here, and then his waist. Rotate around, go forward and back. His waist also rotate around, go forward and back, giving him a pretty wide range of motion in his torso area. Legs, does a splits about this far, not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation is pretty good on this guy. They go forward about that far, back, not too much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here goes forward and back. It can rotate, can tilt and rock, and he's got toe articulation. Here's the goggles up Batman, next to the goggles down Batman. They are 100% the same figure from the neck down. Which one do you guys like better? Drop me a line in the comments below. I personally prefer this one. He's more in his Batman mode. I feel like this one here is how he looked maybe in the Batcave. He wouldn't take his goggles up very often, especially not out in the field. And here are all three versions, the Platinum, the Standard, and the Unmasked. The Unmasked is also the exact same body from the neck down. He has a pretty good Bruce Wayne head, but it's a horrible Ben Affleck head. It'd be good for a comic Bruce Wayne. Here's my entire collection of McFarlane DC Multiverse, Zack Snyder's Justice League Batman figures. I got each of them unopened, and each of them opened as well. Now to reenact a couple of scenes from the film. I'm going to start off by reenacting the tunnel scene. This Batman figure is in his tactical suit for the final battle of the film. Batman was in his regular suit in the tunnel scene, so I'm going to have to use this Batman to fill in. I really hope they offer a Ben Affleck Batman in his regular bat suit. That is my biggest want from this line. I've wanted a 7-inch version of that for a long time. Fingers are totally crossed. McFarlane could easily make a darker one for Justice League, and then, as they love their paint variations, they can make a lighter paint variation and label it a Batman vs. Superman figure. Fingers crossed, big want I have. McFarlane, please deliver. Our heroes take the Nightcrawler down into the tunnels. They're looking for Steppenwolf and his parademons. Steppenwolf here is interrogating these scientists and this janitor. He has the scent of the mother box on him. Our heroes look down from above. The Flash says, "Boy, I really miss Superman right now." Cyborg's dad interrupts, and Steppenwolf can smell the mother box on him. Cyborg is the first to go in and save his dad. Cyborg swoops down to save his dad, and the parademons get ready to shoot him. Wonder Woman drops down to save the day. And as Steppenwolf sees what's happening, Amazon! He challenges Wonder Woman to a fight. Then Batman and Flash end up coming down to join the fight. Flash pushing away the parademon. Batman tells Flash and Cyborg, just get these people out of here. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman is taking on Steppenwolf up top. And as things start to get hairy again, Batman calls for Alfred. Alfred, I need the Nightcrawler. Of course, Alfred's here in the Batcave at the Batcomputer, diligently complies. And after a little while, Cyborg ends up taking over the Nightcrawler, firing a missile at Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf simply grabs the missile and lets it go into the ceiling. Then he boom tubes out of there. The Flash asks, what are we under? Gotham Harbor. And just when Gotham Harbor is about to flood the tunnels, Aquaman comes in and buys him a little bit of time to escape. And here are Heroes and Alfred going up the ramp, about to load onto the Flying Fox and try to take on Steppenwolf. The unmasked Batman would be perfect for this scene. Now I want to reenact a Batmobile scene. Before I do that, I want to explain which one of these Batmobiles this Batman figure is going to fit into. Don't forget, this is a 7-inch scale Batman. He's got a rubbery cape on. If you were to remove his cape and put a cloth soft goods cape on, it'd make it a lot easier to put him in these vehicles. But he can still fit in as is. This is the Mattel Multiverse Justice League Batmobile. This is not the ultimate radio-controlled version. This one's a little bit smaller and better detailed. This one fits in perfect with the Mattel figures. And guess what? He can fit in here with complete clearance. It was difficult getting his cape through there, but I got it done. And here's the Mattel Multiverse Ultimate Radio-Controlled Justice League Batmobile. This thing is a little bit larger. This thing will scale up a little better with McFarlane figures. I always thought it was a little bit too big for the Mattel figures. This thing's a fantastic, unique piece. It's radio controlled through an app on your phone. There's a camera so you can see through Batman's point of view. It has all kind of sounds. The car will raise up, gun will move. Very impressive piece, but crazy expensive. And I must say, I tried and tried and tried, and I cannot get him to fit in there low enough to shut the top. It's not even close. I will say the smaller Multiverse Batmobile is roomier on the inside than the Ultimate Radio Controlled version. So if you're trying to find a Batmobile to pair with this guy, that's the one. Now, back to the Mattel Multiverse non-radio controlled Batmobile. Simply because this is the one Batman fits into. I do prefer the size of the other one with the McFarlane figures, but I simply can't get Batman to fit in there. Just before the end of the film, it's driving down the street, and before long, the parademons start to swarm him, and they're literally tearing his car apart. And just when it looks like Batman is being overrun and is starting to give up, then the entire Justice League comes to save Batman. They turn the tides and go offensive against Steppenwolf and his parademons. And here's Aquaman riding on the Batmobile, just like in the film. Now before we move on to the next scene, let's check him out next to a couple of other Justice League and DC Cinematic Universe vehicles for the 6-inch scale. Here he is next to the Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler is part of the Mattel Justice League Talking Heroes line. It accommodates 6-inch figures, but on the smaller end of 6-inch, there's no way in hell this guy's going to fit in there. And just a side view shot. He will sit in the seat, but you'll never come even close to shutting the lid. Here's this Batman next to the Flying Fox. This Flying Fox was part of the Mattel Basic line. I believe it was a Walmart exclusive. This thing is a huge vehicle, but in all reality, for it to be scaled up with Batman, it'd have to be at least 5 times bigger. And a little bit more of an aerial view, so you can just see the magnitude of this thing. And just like the Nightcrawler, you can get him to fit in the cockpit, but you'll never shut the lid. And here he is, next to a couple of Mattel Basic Batmobiles from Batman vs Superman and Justice League. These things are definitely too small for him. They are for 6-inch scale. They're very basic, but they're also very affordable as well. Here's Batman standing in front of the Multiverse non-radio controlled Batmobile. This thing's a pretty good fit for him. Here's the Justice League taking on Steppenwolf, just like in the final fight in the film. We've got Steppenwolf fighting Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Cyborg in the back with a mother box, Flash running around, bunch of parademons in the background, and of course, Batman up top. And as Superman comes to save the day, Steppenwolf hits him with his axe and does absolutely nothing. And here's a shot of the heroes together on top of a building, just like at the end of the film after they're victorious. The goggles up Batman would be perfect for this scene. Those were a bunch of shots I made when I simply had the regular version of the tactical suit Batman. I had a lot of fun doing those shots, although it took absolutely forever. Here's the goggles up version with the rest of the Justice League as they're victorious over Steppenwolf. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here are all three versions of the tactical suit Batman, the standard release, the goggles up platinum release, and the unmasked version. So it's been a long time coming, but I finally have the entire McFarlane Zack Snyder's Justice League collection complete with all the variants. Rumor is there is an upcoming Speed Force Flash, a New York Comic Con exclusive variant. We haven't actually seen pictures of them yet, but I do believe we'll be seeing those really soon. Presumably it's going to be the same Flash figure with some lightning Speed Force effects painted onto him. Eager for some news about that guy. Swap out Darkseid for Wonder Woman, and we can compare him with their Mattel counterparts. Mattel didn't make a Darkseid figure for Justice League because simply, Darkseid wasn't in the Whedon cut in any way, shape, or form. And here are their Mattel counterparts. I've said it before and I'll say it again, McFarlane's DC Multiverse is superior to Mattel's DC Multiverse, just like Zack Snyder's Justice League is superior to Whedon's Justice League. Then, here he is next to McFarlane's The Suicide Squad figures. The Suicide Squad exists in the same DC cinematic universe as the Justice League, so it's possible for these characters to interact. Here he is, next to the Wonder Woman 1984 wave. Wonder Woman 1984 is also part of the DC cinematic universe. Then, next to Arrow. Arrow's the only McFarlane live-action figure that's not from the DC cinematic universe. He's from TV's Arrowverse. Here are all the different Bruce Wayne as Batman figures McFarlane has made so far. Got quite a variety to choose from at this point. And I guess these guys are also Bruce Wayne as Batman in one way or another. Here's the entire collection of McFarlane DC Multiverse Platinum Chase variant figures. I have no idea what the next one's going to be, but I can't wait to find out. And here he is, next to a couple of other McFarlane Platinum Chase variants from different lines. On the left, we've got My Hero Academia, and on the right, Warhammer. Now let's check him out, next to some other companies' versions of the tactical suit Batman. Here he is, next to the Mezco 112 cloth soft goods version. And here, next to the Mafex version. Then, next to a couple of Mattel DC Multiverse tactical suit Batman figures. And here, next to a Mattel Justice League basic tactical suit Batman. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Batman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys. These are for different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batman figures. And here, next to some NECA Batman figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 cloth soft goods Batman figures. Then with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Batman figures. And here, with some Mafex Batman figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Batman figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, this is a pretty cool Batman figure, and a pretty cool Platinum Chase variant. I might be in the minority, but I prefer the goggles down Batman. That's just how Batman would be if he was in action. It is cool, they made a whole new head sculpt for this guy. Pretty much all the different DC Platinum Chase figures have been simply repaints. This one has some new sculpting to him. This Batman figure is great overall. The sculpt and paint job are excellent. He's got different texturing in his armor plates, his cape. It is all fantastic. His accessory's pretty cool. The Bataring's nice. His articulation is everything you'd expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, and they're continually improving on that formula. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.